again, everybody, it's me, Madame Macabre, and welcome to another video. As you can see, today I have here with me Shadowkisses. And if we look exhausted and tired and just worn out, it's because we are. It is currently like creeping up on midnight, and it's been a long weekend and a long day in particular.
Oh, take this makeup off.
Yeah, no, we're about to get ready for heading home and going to bed after this.
Yeah.
But we have some stories to share with you. See, today we actually went to the fair again. This time I had Shadowkisses with me. I'm particularly exhausted because yesterday I was volunteering down at the haunted house I work at, and I did a lot of physical labor, and so I'm feeling like the living dead right now. But we still have a story to share with you guys. So we figured share some of the adventures we got into today. And it was a jam-packed day. We aimed on going to the fair, and it just started crazy before we even got there. We had a lovely brunch at Denny's that led into an interesting encounter on the way to the fair.
We took separate cars to Denny's, because adult stuff. But I was on my way back to Katie's place to where we could condense into one car and then head to the fair. And on the way back from Denny's to your place, I got to see a homeless man in
Thanks for reminding that on my face.
Sploosh. Well, I figured it's better than saying that.
I mean, so right off the side of, right by the highway.
On the main stretch of road in town. He's just in broad daylight, just going to town. And, there's no mistaking what he was doing. I saw it. It was out. So, that was interesting.
So it's like an omen about the crazy day we were about to have, because we get down. The regular parking area we want to go to is full. We can't get to that. We have to go a few blocks farther out. Fine, dandy. It was sunny and nice. We walk in, and by the time we get in, we go through bag check. They have signs posted. You can't have weapons. You can't have guns. You can't have tasers. You can't have mace. Big one there. Mace. Mm-hmm. We get in. After we go through the turnstile, we pull to the shade to start adjusting our stuff. Emma, who was also there with us, had to stop at an ATM. While we were waiting, the police were talking to a gentleman. Care to enlighten them?
Well, apparently this he was in his 50s or his... Who bloodinged you?
Boy! Blooding. It was someone noisy. It was someone our dad's age group, so mid-50s, maybe a little older.
Little too old to be acting this way, and he was going bananas over the fact that he brought in mace. And the police told him that he couldn't have that there, and he kept going on and on. You should have signs posted. There are signs posted. He's like, you're gonna have to drag my patootie. He didn't say patootie, but you're gonna have to drag my patootie to jail.
YouTube, family friendly, don't demonetize us.
You're gonna have to drag my patootie to jail or write me a ticket, but I'm not leaving.
Just you can either leave the fair or you can surrender your mace. That's what's gonna happen. And he's going red, tomato red in the face, having a conniption.
And at one point, a female officer reaches out to try and de-escalate. This usually calms people down. And he goes, don't touch me! Don't touch me! Freaking out. And we're just standing there the whole time. You were on your phone.
I know, I was looking on my phone, but also watching, we're just staring the whole time, not even being sly about it. We're just watching.
I'm just watching in bemusement, and I'm where's Emma? She needs to see this.
And we're just, I'm on my phone being like the nosy neighbor. It's fascinating, but it's weird day. Some of the weirdness might be because it was the very last day of the season, which would explain. I have never in my life. I've been to that fair many times over many years. The Washington State Fair. It used to be called the Puyallup Fair, but I have never once in my life seen it that absurdly crowded. Shoulder to shoulder people. It was like we were in freaking Disneyland. I will deal with the crowds in Disneyland. I will not deal with the crowds at a state fair. It ain't worth the headache. It was insane. Like, for instance, the parents, once again, parents with strollers and stuff were the absolute worst. There's the dairy bar. You could go and get ice cream. I wanted ice cream because it's the last day of the fair. I'm gonna treat myself if I want a tasty treat. And we go in, and I put my order in, and then, like, cool, free samples of, like, fresh milk over there, so I'm gonna go get some milk. Gonna have a tasty taste of milk. This family with multiple strollers comes in behind me, they grab their samples, and then they park blocking the entire, like, area where you get the milk samples, and, like, I'm clearly looking around, like, how do I get it? They make eye contact with me, and they keep doing what they're doing with the stroller and refuse to move. And I'm just like, oh. And they call in my name to get my ice cream, and I'm trapped, so it's just sitting on the counter melting. And I'm like, excuse me, please. I don't know, parents, people, they lose their mind. She couldn't even handle it. She had to leave. She had to go wait for us.
I had a much more enjoyable time while I waited for you to get your ice cream.
Glad to hear that.
So it's no secret, I vape. Big deal. So I had to meander over to the smoker section to vape. And on my way over there, I got quite the show. This woman, and just to explain to you, it was like 4 of me and 1 woman. So,
okay.
Pretty big, to put it bluntly. And she, without any shame at all, just ripped the meatiest Bigfoot Chewbacca, like, inbred fart I have ever heard in my life. It was like, just walking down, mind their own, just ripped it. For whatever reason, when it went from being the Puyallup Fair to the Washington State Fair, they made Sasquatch the mascot. She was trying to call him to her. Here, boy. Yeah, he probably didn't want any of that. Oh, Lord. So, pulling back from that, we got the ice cream. Then we're like, okay, we're all stressed out because it is very crowded. And we noticed that one of the outdoor smoking areas had a nice grassy patch with shade because it was very sunny. We thought it was gonna rain, but it decided to be sunny day because Washington. So we go in the shade and we decide to hang out there. And we're like, okay, cool. She's able to vape. We're able to sit in the shade and not be surrounded because people are like, ew, smokers, ew. Like, mind you, I don't want cigarette smoke directly in my face either, but they were actually being conscientious out there and just, so it was fine. And, but people were staying away, so nice. We're just chilling there, hanging out. And then just I am a gremlin. This is a different breed of gremlin. We have different gremlin patterns and behaviors, and her gremlin stuff involves making highly inappropriate conversation and jokes in public places. Not loud, but loud enough that if you're walking by, you're gonna be like, oh. We were removed from the children, but okay, y'all were making some horrible, okay, don't even look. There were several times where I just turned on my heel and walked away from them. Yep, and we just kept going.
Like, no. But, so they're making all their jokes, and these creepy dudes keep drifting closer and closer and closer, and it's like, you're not a part of this conversation.
We made their day, what are you talking about?
Made their day, but I didn't want them to come near me. That's my purse, I don't know you. Oh God, they were eavesdropping because at one point you had said death by snoo.
Yeah.
And you heard them over in their area say death by snoo. Like, you Little weasel. Stay away from me. Oh, God. But it was interesting day. A lot of Goths. A lot of Goths out today. Like, usually where we're used to being, like, about the only folks all done up and are just black on black on black on black.
Yep.
A lot of Goths there today. Surprising. Maybe it's because it was the last day of the fair.
They're probably like, oh, I guess. It's the last day. We'll go.
Whatever. It looks like it's gonna rain. Oh, the sun.
I feel
We can make these jokes because this is our life.
Yeah.
So many of them, though. I've never seen so many Goths in one public venue in my life. Like, I mean, other than, like, you know, like the Goth Club or something like that. But, like a public, like, fun fair. Like, you don't really see large quantities of Goths. It was strange. I mean, like, a good strange, because, like, hey. But, like, not what I was expecting at the fair.
Well, we all know they're not there for Rascal Flatts, let's be honest.
Yeah. I mean, like...
Like, that's a weird combo.
Okay, alright. So, we went from there and we wandered around some more, and then we decided, you know what, we could use a drink. We're all adults, so we went to the beer garden. I wanted a turkey leg. They gave me a dinosaur quarter. The thing was bigger than my head. It was scary. She ended up having to help me. It was too much. But, my God. All the middle-aged women who were there waiting for basically, like, that, it's Rascal Flatts was out there in the grandstand. That was the big concert happening that night. And so I guess all the middle-aged women were ornery. They were waiting for their rascal, and they were getting worked up. They did not like the fact that we found a table with 3 seats. And mind you, we found the table, then we had one person stay, the other would, 2 of us would go get food, then switch, go get drinks and all that. Meaning one person holding down the fort. And just because we weren't physically there at the time, there were some old ladies who didn't like that.
Like, literally, these 2 women, who really got on my nerves, waited for like 20 minutes while you and Emma went and got your turkey legs, and like, they were hovering, and like, they were trying to talk under their breath, but with that loud singer in beer garden, it wasn't under their breath.
These were like middle-aged old ladies, or
like, all right, Linda and Susan, you need to calm the calamity in your memories and get over yourself.
Just because. We left our like coats and scarves on the backs of our chairs. They were clearly taken.
Yep.
Still, like, these children need to surrender those. They're not using them.
Well, she kept moving closer and closer to your chair specifically, and I straight up put my foot on it and looked at her like...
I didn't like that. What you gonna do, Helen? And then, you was having all the luck with the feisty old ladies. So then she took a turn to go get a beer from the place where they were serving it from the bar, and
like 3 people ahead of me, I just hear this, "What do you mean there's no more white wine?" And I'm like, whoa. And this short, angry-looking woman with a bob cut is like, "Just for your information, there's no more Pinot Grigio." And I was like, okay, well, I'm just trying to get a beer. Like, what am I supposed to do about it? Like, literally, I was a little bit more gothed up than this. I had, like, chokers and stuff on. I'm like, do I look like I work here?
Why would I be in line waiting for booze?
Like, I'm pretty sure they don't allow you to
Do I
drink.
look like I would also be enraged about the lack of your white wine?
Like, do I look like a wine type of gal? Like...
Jaeger bombs! Oh, Lord. There were just so many women that just, like... They were waiting for the Rascal Flatts. They were not having it. They were not having it.
Mm-mm.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, no. Then we, from there, we did more wandering. And then we eventually made our way back to the scone line. Now, I mentioned in my vlog, but for those of you who didn't check it out, the fair is kind of famous for their scones. It's a thing they've been doing since founding. Like, I think it's been at least 100 years or something going on. Long time fair standing. They've been doing these scones. It's like scones with raspberry jam and butter in there, like hot and fresh out of the oven, and really good.
So good.
And because it's the last day of the fair, the line wrapped all the way back to the grandstand, because the grandstand is the original scone stand, and they serve the best ones. That's just how it is. And, you know, when there are long lines, middle-aged women don't do well in long lines. They don't like having to wait. And there was a woman who didn't appreciate. Once again, since there were 3 of us, we thought we can do shifts. One of us will hold the spot in the line down. Emma wanted to go get a caramel apple. She got her caramel apple, but had to wait in line for that much shorter line. Then Des wanted to go to the bathroom. So I'm standing in line. She gets in line behind just me. Cool. Like, everything's fine and dandy. Then Des gets back. And it's like, okay, cool. Now I'm going to go to the bathroom. Apparently the fact that Des got there and I handed my stuff over to her and she got in line, the woman didn't like that. She started getting angry. And then when Emma joined, she really didn't like that. Okay, first of all, Emma wasn't even gonna buy scones. She was just there with her group. So first of all, jumping to conclusion. Second of all, we were all there together in line first. One of us was holding it down. It's not like, and then finally, it's not like I got a massive group of people just like, don't mind me, I'm gonna bring 18 people in line in front of you. There's 3 of us, and only 2 of us are getting scones, and we just had to go to the bathroom. Which, by the way, I went to the bathroom, and it must have caught like a break between the concert, because there's a huge line to get in there. It took forever, and when I get in there, I swear, in the stall next to me, someone was like freaking toking it up. I was like, oh, it was like really strong. And then like, you could just hear like a, like they're struggling to hold it in. And the smell is so strong. They're just like, do you really need to like blaze it so badly before your Rascal Flatts concert that you're gonna do in the grandstand bathroom of the Washington State Fair? Just don't go in the bathrooms. Smoke detectors. What if you set off the sprinklers? I really wouldn't have been in a good mood at that. But you know what? All the struggles, they were fine. We got through the line. We got our scones, and pretty sure there was a high school boy working in the scone area that like, so you know, because he the one who was making our scones was like, ooh, I want a big titty goth GF. Because we got back. We didn't even look at our scones until we got back because we were done. And then you look at it like, oh, I've got a golden ticket.
Literally, I grabbed the first scone package out of the bag, and I went and sat down on the couch to eat it, and I opened it up, and there was 2 scones in there. And I'm like, is there an empty bag? Did they just like accidentally shove 2 in the same bag and then throw an empty one in there? Or did it like tumble out in the process of getting it here? No. Not 1 double scone bag, but 2. Like, what are the odds? Like, if it was just the one, I would have thought it was a coincidence.
Why are you putting 2 double scones? I mean, I'm not complaining, but...
I'm not, like...
Okay, teenage boy, I'll take it.
Thanks.
So, I mean, crazy, exhausting, wild day, but ending on a high enough note. But yeah, no, we're exhausted, guys. Like, that... We got back, and we're like, oh, wait, I gotta get a story time for y'all. And I feel like I'm dying now, so I think this might be a good place to sort of call it quits for the evening. I hope you guys were entertained by our stories. If you're more into the creepy stuff, I know I keep saying I'll get back to it. I will get back to it. I hope you guys also enjoy like the personal stuff, since the channel is, I also just share lots of stuff from my life. So I'll have more spooks later on. Anyway, I might even get something for the haunt I'm working at. I've been talking to the owner, so we'll see about that. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. I will catch you all next time, and until then, stay creepy!